We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms, and you'll feel better, you'll be more productive, and enjoy life more. Did you know that intermittent fasting reduces inflammation and also improves in performance? It certainly does. And why fast is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and in turn boosts your metabolism. It's unique with high dense nutrition, nutrients, and a whole program behind it, with exercise and recipes. It's a natural part of all my programs. It's so simple, you could do it on your own as a standalone. But you're welcome to ask me for some coaching as well as some details at my link tree, which is https://www.debi, D-E-B-I, changes, C-H-A-N-G-S, lives, lives.com/linktree, L-I-N-K-T-R-E-E. And I would suggest using that complimentary consultation button so you can talk to me in person and ask questions about what I offer as well. And you can use that same link tree to purchase my #1 best-selling book, Women Rising. It is a collection of many women's transformational stories, including my own. It will help some of the struggling see the light at the end of the tunnel. A copy is $20 and a signed copy is $25. Once I get your email and payment, I'll send the book right out to you. Secure your spot on my Beach Reveal Retreat, which is a collaboration. It includes my 6-month weight release and mindset coaching program, and followed by maintenance and accountability that we do via Zoom and Facebook at home. Then you have the opportunity to go to the House of Influence Retreat Center in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So you can write your transformational story in a chapter of the book and join fun excursions and Puerto Vallarta. That's okay. You need to register by March 29th. That's when it ends, and that's when you make your first payment, because my program starts on April 4th. And my program, if you want to go to the next, better go, starts with onboarding, where I get your measurements. It's private because we talk about your health, and you get meal plan instructions. And the rest of the 23 weeks are Zoom coaching, where we're going to be celebrating your wins, and we're going to look at your gaps, and I'm going to instruct you how you can get over your obstacles and gaps, whether it's changing something up, whether it's mindset coaching, I'll help you with that. And you get an opportunity to create a new version of you in an avatar board that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation. And then it's followed after 6 months by that maintenance accountability group, where there's one Zoom a month. And then we go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And that's where that's November 6th to the 13th. And that's where you get to enjoy Puerto Vallarta's vortex energy, all the fun activities, and writing your transformational story in a chapter of a book. This whole program is going to be a celebrated reward for you to drive you to achieve your weight and health transformation. And you're going to be not only getting healthier, you're releasing weight, you'll be enhancing your mindset, and you're going to enjoy the therapeutics throughout the whole program. So if you want more details, watch my previous episodes of my Beach Reveal Retreat and reach out to me on my complimentary consultation button so that you can ask me questions, and that's where you would sign up anyways and make your first payment. Today, I'm going to talk about how I discovered how traditional chiropractic care is completely different than NUCCA chiropractic care when I met Dr. Brandon Van Stieters, who's an upper cervical chiropractor. And unfortunately, over the years, many years ago, I was involved in multiple car accidents, which created, a neck injury for me that I've had my whole entire life. But I became a runner anyways. And I actually, recently broke my foot when I fell, and I have recovered. And during the recovery, I fell again and hurt my shoulder and my neck. And I am so grateful I have Dr. Brandon Van Stieters as my chiropractor, because his treatment is so subtle, gentle, and I feel it immediately. It's so efficient. And I would never go back to another chiropractor again. Today on my show, I have Dr. Brandon Van Stieters, and he is an upper cervical chiropractor who specializes in NUCCA procedure. It's truly the best kept secret in healthcare, especially in the chiropractic care field. And he is a second generation chiropractor. He's witnessed the power of chiropractic care from his father's office. And then he studied biology and chemistry at the University of San Diego. Then he pursued his calling by going to a chiropractic school called Life West in the Bay Area, and that's in California. He actually had a post-concussion from snowboarding, which he was treated with a NUCCA procedure, and he recovered. And now he helps people heal their neck, back, and shoulder injuries, and probably more, with the power of NUCCA, an upper cervical chiropractic procedure. He works at Atlas Brain and Spine, and we'll be discussing the benefits of NUCCA chiropractic care. So let's welcome Dr. Brandon Van Stieters, upper cervical chiropractor that does NUCCA. Dr. Van Stieters, thank you for being on my show.
Thanks, Debbie. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you as well. So could you tell our audience what exactly NUCCA is, and especially what those letters stand for?
Absolutely. So NUCCA is actually an acronym. It stands for the National Upper Cervical Chiropractic Association. And it's really a procedure within chiropractic. We focus on the top bone of the neck called the atlas bone. And we measure how that's related to your neck and then also your head as well. So we take specific x-rays to determine the best way to adjust you.
And that's what I experienced. And that's all pain-free, by the way. Now, I kind of, said something in your bio about, some of the reasons why you started working as a chiropractor. Do you want to expand on that at all?
Sure, absolutely. So growing up from a very young age, I remember being in my dad's office, just running around in the waiting room and just talking to patients and just seeing some of the healing that took place there. So that started me on this journey towards chiropractic. And then in school, I gravitated towards the upper cervical, or specifically the NUCCA procedure. And then really what got me into it was when I actually had a concussion, and I had some symptoms that lingered that people call post-concussion syndrome. So I had headaches, kind of like a brain fog, for really months, and nothing helped it. But the NUCCA procedure was the only thing that actually got those symptoms to go away. So that's what got me into this work specifically.
Okay, you kind of talked about measurements and things like that, but how does NUCCA work?
That's a great question. So the atlas bone is very unique relative to the rest of the spine. Most of the spine, there is a similar design or shape of the bones themselves. They have a part in the front called the body. In between the bodies, there is, the discs. And then on the back portion, they have joints in the back that keep your spine nice and locked in place. Now, when we get to the atlas bone, it has a completely different design. It's that vital junction between your brain and your body. It sits under your skull and on top of your spine. And because of that design, it is more vulnerable to misalign or shift when we do have accidents or injuries. So when that does happen, the atlas bone is only a 3-ounce bone, and it doesn't have the leverage to bring our head back over top. So when we do have that small shift in the upper neck, we have many, many nerves that attach to the muscles that attach to the atlas, and that will actually interfere with an area called the brainstem, and that changes the postural muscles throughout your body, getting you stuck in this stress position. And our goal is to determine what is that position that the atlas is in, and the best way, based on the biomechanics or how the upper neck moves, the best way to correct that.
Oh, I see. And I noticed that the very subtle movements that you've done, with my adjustments at least, and sometimes it's like a little bit, but these treatments they don't take that long either. So is there any case study that you have that you've worked with other patients that maybe it took a little bit longer for things to happen?
So the adjustment itself is unique compared to probably what you might have seen or experienced in the past. A lot of the more manual manipulations that you might be referring to. So yeah, it is just a little bit of pressure around one of your ears on either side. The patient is laying on their side, and we position their head on a specific table to assist us in the adjustment. So everything is calculated. So we use mechanical advantage. So there's a lot of science and physics behind the adjustment itself. What you experience as a patient is just just a little bit of tickle by your ear.
Yeah, it's amazing what a little teeny movement or little teeny pressure, and there's no major bone crushing type of thing going on, that it relieves the pain. And during that process, I could feel it because I've had some nerve issues from that shoulder fall. I could feel that nerve, being, treated. And then when I get up, it's like, whoa, I feel so much better. So it is really non-invasive, in my opinion. So I really appreciate what you can do. What makes upper cervical spine so special and unique?
Yeah, so the upper neck is very unique for multiple ways. We mentioned the anatomy, so it's just completely different relative to the rest of the spine. There is the biomechanics, so how it moves. 50% of the movement of our neck actually comes from the top joint or the top bone of your neck. There are a tremendous amount of nerves. We have about 90% of their nerves are from here up.
Yes.
So within certain muscles in the neck, they're just so dense. There's so many nerves per gram of tissue that tell our brain where our body is or our neck is in space. And also there's a new research on this. It's a new discovery in anatomy, which is actually really rare to find something new that we haven't discovered in the body yet. But it's actually called the myodural bridge, which is a connection between the upper muscles of the neck and actually connects directly to the spinal cord itself. So when these muscles are stretched because of a misalignment, that actually can physically put tension onto the spinal cord itself.
So does it create a misalignment in different places in the body?
So it's all neurological. So when we do have that misalignment, it actually will interfere with the brain's communication with the body and then go from the brain controlling the muscles, which is what causes those other misalignments.
So you can have something wrong in your back, like sciatica or something, and you can help with that?
Yeah, so we help many people with sciatica that have tried other options that haven't worked for them, especially because what's going on lower is really secondary to what's going on up top. So it's more of a compensation type effect.
And do you help because it's neurological and also the nerves that I've experienced, the problems with my nerves. Do you bring down inflammation too?
So I don't know about actual inflammation. So
Okay.
we haven't done studies on that yet, but
Okay. Well, it might be happening. You never know.
yeah.
um, well, that's interesting. So for me, I know that even I'm a runner, sometimes I have, pain that goes down to my leg, and because it's hitting the back. And I notice there's a crossover too. So it may be pain on this side, but it might be the other leg, but you help that type of condition as well, right?
So it definitely can be related to the secondary compensation in your body. So your body can get stuck in a stress position when we do have these small shifts in the upper neck, and that can contribute to these injuries because it changes how you walk every day if you're walking unevenly.
Yes, which I've learned when I was recovering from my broken foot.
That's right.
So I lost some muscle mass, and unfortunately, I was walking unevenly. I finally got evened out, and I was able to run my half marathon this year because of your care. So I really appreciate that
Yeah.
so much.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. um, and I was like, "Yay, I did it!" At
That's
the end, I
exciting.
had so much energy at the end. I was like so excited and emotional. Emotional, being happy, and if people can control their emotions and control their ideas of being down, so to speak, when they have so much stress, they can release that stress a little bit and feel better. And that's what I help people with my mindset coaching. I kind of make them aware of what's going on. I help them, try to realize whether it's in their control or not.
Mm,
And and then, if there's negative patterns associated with them, I help them recognize it, interrupt them, and eventually they're going to release those negative patterns and stress. And that will help also, maybe focusing on a certain body part and realize, okay, this is hurting me. And maybe some deep diaphragmatic breathing will start ease your body a little bit, so you don't have your shoulders like this and
yeah,
feel better. Don't you agree?
absolutely. So yeah, that all those negative thoughts will shift your nervous system into that sympathetic or that fight or flight mode, and that can cause some issues. We don't heal as well when we are in that fight or flight in that threatened position.
Yes, and I've experienced that. It's important to try to release the stress the best you can. Um, you can use ice, you can use heat, you can use. I do offer some CBD products that are THC free. You can use those type of things, and they just help you feel better, because if you don't bring your inflammation down from your pain, it's just going to be there for a longer period of time. And that's why utilizing a service like yours to ease you back into alignment. And I really mean ease you, because I've been in some places where they've done a thing to my back, and I'm like, I don't feel good. And I've never experienced that with your treatment, because it really is subtle touches. And you're wondering, is he really doing anything? But then, because of the nerve issues I've had recently, I actually feel those nerves doing something. So it's
Mm,
kind of like it's working. And also, I think your belief on whether something's going to work for you is really going to help that become more efficient as well.
for sure.
So, and I am forever going to use a NUCCA a chiropractor for the rest of my life, and I just, I'm so grateful to have you in my life. So that's why having you on my show.
Absolutely. Likewise. Yeah,
Okay.
I've learned so much from you, Debbie, as well.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So now I was kind of talking about comparison here. Okay. So what makes upper cervical treatments unique compared to traditional chiropractic treatments?
Absolutely. Yeah, great question. So, what the general public's probably their conception of chiropractic is, more of the cracking, which has its place. More of that focuses on just joint mobility within the individual segments of the spine versus actual alignment of the spine. So when before an adjustment, we actually check to see leg length. We check their hips in 3Ds on a special machine to see, because when we do have these pelvic or hip imbalances and their legs are uneven, that's actually most of the time coming from the upper neck. So we can measure before and after the adjustment whether we've actually balanced out your body, as well as we take these precision x-rays before when you first come in and then after your first adjustment, so we know exactly how that adjustment affects your neck. Does it move how we expect? So we know the best way to adjust you. And
Yeah,
doesn't need to be a big forceful adjustment. We do our homework, so it can just be nice and relaxing.
yes, and you keep track of that over time. So you always have a record of, okay, we need to do this and review, and then you know exactly what to do with the treatment, right?
Yeah. So there's procedures and protocols in place, yes, so we know the best way based on how the upper neck moves to adjust
Yeah.
you.
And so for everybody who hasn't experienced this, pretty much he has you looking at you, and he takes a picture of you, and you're going, okay. And he has a chart behind you that kind of is has lines on it, that are portrait, so it's horizontal, and then it's tied into his computer, and then he has you stand on your, stand, turn over, not turn over, but go to the side 90 degrees, and he takes another picture, and then you face the chart, and he takes another picture, and he does measure. He has a device to measure your hips to see if they're out of line, and I went in once just to see how much out of line I was with my running shoes.
I remember that.
Because my doctor said you need to put inserts in your shoes, and I want to make sure I was not out of a line. And he helped me with that too. So, all these are very precise, but precision measurements that he's doing, and he can tell whether you're more out of line than you were in the past, or just a little bit out of alignment. So, and that makes a big difference with how people feel, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's important that we get it. It's vital that we get it correct, that we know exactly how your neck has misaligned and the best way to get it back. And what you were talking about before is just, yeah, we like to look at posture because posture can be a window to the spine. So we typically will have posture is a commonly misunderstood term. So sometimes we confuse posture with actually positioning. So when we think of posture, we think, oh, I need to have the perfect desk set up and we think ergonomics is more posture, but that's more, I consider that positioning. So when we talk about posture is if you look at pictures of yourself, is your head tilted consistently? Do you have that same head tilted more towards the one side? Do you consistently see one shoulder higher than the other? Do you consistently feel like your hips are rotated forward? That's what I call posture. So when we have someone come in and they are out of alignment, they will have that same pattern will manifest. So we'll see that same pattern in certain patients. So I like to check that before and after the adjustment, just to make sure that we're getting you back. We're having the shoulders balance out, the head's coming, ears are level. So we know that how the adjustment actually affects you on each visit.
Oh, that's wonderful. I guess you probably see people in real life. It's like, ooh, they need my care.
I can't help it.
But it's just like me. I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Only because you don't know if they really want to do that, right?
For sure.
So yeah. Okay. So who is a ideal candidate for NUCCA care?
Great. Yeah. So a lot of conditions that we do help with, we help people with headaches, migraines, dizziness, vertigo. We see a lot of patients who the typical or the medical community, they don't really have an answer for them. So they've just gone from doctor to doctor to doctor, really with no answers. And if there's not a pill or a surgery, that's not what they do. So we have a lot of patients that have kind of unique or complex health conditions that don't really know where to turn, and then they give us a try and they find great results with.
Yeah, and I had a unique vertigo. Do you want to describe that? where I had to go see a physical therapist.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And what was it called? I had to do an Epley maneuver.
The EPLES, yeah. So the benign positional proximal, the BPPV. So yeah, some types of vertigos they don't respond to this type of care, and that's when the crystals do shift on the inner ear. So that was something that you were experiencing.
Yeah, and I had to have that taken care of, and unfortunately, that hurt my neck too. So I ended up going back to Brandon after that was taken care of. But I knew I didn't have the typical vertigo. It was nothing like that because I've had it before in the past, and I was like, this little thing is going around like a little bit like a clock. And I went into that physical therapist, and he said, "You definitely have it." So I want to thank you for that recommendation because, that's really important to get something resolved. And I didn't have to ever go to a medical doctor regarding that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you help with vertigo. Do you help with maybe people have clogged ears?
So we can. There's definitely a potential for that. It really depends on what is the main cause. So if there is tightness within the neck that's causing that clog, then that's something that we do help with. There's many manifestations that can happen within the body when we do have this misalignment. That puts pressure and stress on your system, and really there could be a host of all sorts of issues that could be related. Obviously, the neck, back, shoulder, headaches, migraines, things like that, but also some other things as well.
And is there any other body part other than, the head? I mean, like the ears, is there any other health condition that you kind of help with that, whether it's related to the heart, whether it's related to other body parts that may, with your alignment, you make that area more healthier?
Yeah. So there's actually a very unique study that looked at actually NUCCA and blood pressure, specifically the NUCCA procedure, and they found that it was equivalent to taking two types of blood pressure medication, the effect on lowering blood pressure. So it can definitely be an option. There is a mechanism as well how it is possible, and they've measured it in this study. So really great results with that.
Oh, that's wonderful because it's not good to take that blood pressure medication if you can find a natural way to help you. And sometimes it's working on your diet early because if you're not eating a healthy, toxic-free diet, you're not doing yourself a service. I mean, a lot of people that are obese and things like that, they have, blood pressure issues or maybe blood sugar issues. And if you just correct your diet, that would help.
Absolutely. Yeah, diet is a key component. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I noticed that what that when you have ringing of the ears, can you help with that?
So we have helped people with tinnitus. That's the ringing in the ears. It's hard to know exactly what is the root cause with tinnitus. So, but what we do is we do a holistic form of healthcare. So we get your body as balanced as possible. We let your natural healing ability take place. We really see what happens after that.
Oh, here's a question for you. What if a teen walks like a zombie at times? Well, I understand that one. And he keeps headphones on his ears because the sound hurts. Oh my goodness, that's not good. But has intermittent zombie walking not all the time. So what do you do for somebody like that? I'd be curious to know.
Yeah. So we do one thing and we do it really well, and we correct and balance the upper neck, and we really just see what is related to that. So sometimes it could be the sensitivity to noise. I don't know exactly what can be related, but there's a lot of things that have the potential to be, and each person is unique.
Yes. Some people have to go through, what is it called? Am I pronouncing it vascular therapy? Because I know that.
Vestibular therapy, yep.
What?
A vestibular therapy.
Yeah, I know that my son was very sensitive to noise when he was younger, and roller coasters were really loud. Well, guess what? He's fine with roller coasters now.
Awesome.
But he had to go through that therapy. And that would help. But, having a headset on your head, that's extra weight. Now, how much does a head weigh?
So the weight of our head,
Okay,
so the
go
weight of
through
your
the
head,
weight of your head, then we'll answer his question in a
okay,
second.
absolutely. So the weight of the head is between 8 to 12 pounds, and that is if it's over center. So for every inch off of forward or to the side, off of center adds an additional 10 pounds of pressure to your spine. So if it weighs, say, 10 pounds and it's forward an inch, it actually, your body interprets that, or we have 20 pounds of pressure on a daily basis.
And then that headset's even more weight. It could be, I don't know, a pound, whatever it is. So why
Yeah.
did you answer that question? Do you remember what it was?
Best to go check the ear doctor first if it's the sensitivity to sound.
Yes. And that's pretty much what happened with my son. It's that, we checked with that. We had a neurologist, actually, it was for my son. And so he has some therapies like that. And let's say if somebody has low tone and they grow up and they have back issues, is there stuff that you can do for to help them with their body aches?
So when we do have that pressure on the brainstem from that misalignment up here, so the brain controls the muscles, the tone of the muscles, the postural muscles. So that has the potential to help that tone and increase that nerve activity.
Mhm.
Was that your question?
Yeah, that answers that question because what you're doing is you're releasing the pain and making him feel better, and possibly working on inflammation too would help as well.
Yeah,
Um,
there's always usually an inflammatory component as well.
yeah, yeah, because I noticed when I had inflammation, I would have to take other things that I offer for people to take. They're holistic in nature, and it helped me feel better. I mean, and I was so grateful I was able to get back into half marathon running. So,
Yeah.
but I was doing baby steps. I was, breaking it down to a mile, 3 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, and even the days. So I didn't honestly go from 0 to half marathon.
Not recommended.
And, the recovery wasn't that bad either, only because I knew what to do to help me with the inflammation I would have for the recovery as well. Um, but you never know when things happen in your life and and you have to go back. Debi, what do you have products for teens? Yes, I do have products for teens, and I will discuss it on an individual basis. But yes, you can reach out to me and set up that complimentary consultation because everybody is different. Um, I helped children, teens, and adults with their health. Even though I talk about weight release, I optimize people's health. And I have a wide range of um, background of helping people with different health conditions. So that would be better to reach out to me on a private consultation. And it could be with I would want the parent to be there too. Okay. That's really important because if he's under the age of 18, the parent needs to be there.
Yeah.
Do you need a parent there if you have someone under the age of 18?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. It's the same thing with a doctor too, right?
Mhm.
So you have to have the parent there. So was there any unique case that you want to discuss that you actually helped somebody with?
Yeah. So there's a couple I can think of, but one, a patient came in with, they had head pressure. And every time
He froze for me. Did he freeze for you?
okay. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. So try
Okay.
again. I didn't hear it. In case other people heard it.
Oh, so the initial complaint was head pressure. When they laughed, it actually got worse. So that means there is some sort of pressure going on inside the brain. We determined that based on the x-rays that we take, that their neck was shifted 7 degrees towards the right side. With a specific adjustment, we're bringing that neck back to center, and they completely made a full recovery after that.
That's
So they were able to
wonderful.
laugh and live their life again, which was great. Another one is individual 70-year-old male. He has had dizziness every time he looks up for the last 10 years following an injury, and he's tried everything. And happy to say he's about 2 months into care, and he's noticed about a 60% improvement. He can move his neck again without getting some of that dizziness. He's able to drive more comfortably. Doesn't have to worry about getting some of these spins while he's in the car. Yeah, so great things like that. People experiencing neck pain. Yeah, that's a daily basis.
That's all I can say. I know. Well, one thing I was going to ask you is also when it comes to sleeping positions. I prefer to sleep on my side, but when I broke my foot, it was so uncomfortable to sleep on my side because that was the what I broke. And I prefer to sleep on my left side, which is actually healthier to sleep on your left side. But as a chiropractor, what do you prefer?
Absolutely. So this is what I say is sleep is the most important thing. So whatever position that takes to get sleep. Now, if you can alter your sleeping position without it affecting your sleep, the best two options are on your side or on your back. And then when you are on your side, you want to make sure you have enough support with the pillow from your shoulder to your neck, so you're not pushing your head up or it's not hanging down. So you need to find that sweet spot with the pillow to have enough between the neck and the shoulder. And then when you're on your back, not too much support so your head's pushed forward.
Okay. You probably don't know this because I really don't know what type of pillows are out there, but is there a brand or a type of pillow you would prefer?
So we recommend the Atlas pillow. It's actually designed by a NUCCA doctor, and really he has both. It's unique to find a pillow where you can sleep both on your side and your back. And he's actually thought of a design where you're able to do both in one pillow. Versus,
Oh, I would love that. I'm a roller sometimes.
yeah, we're gonna move positions throughout the night, so you just need to be able to accommodate for it.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how much that is? I don't know.
I think they're mostly sold through NUCCA docs.
A NUCCA doc? Can I get it through you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll get one.
Yeah.
So do you handle working with babies at all or just teens? Children to teens, adolescents. Have you
Yeah.
ever worked with babies?
So yeah, I do have a 1-year-old, and I check him, check his neck as well, check the muscles, make sure. And the adjustment is very different. It's just a little bit of light pressure, but mostly we work with about teens and above, because the actual procedure itself requires X-ray, so we know exactly what's going on.
Oh, so you
So
can't
that's
take
what we work with
X-rays
most.
for a baby, is what you're saying?
Well, it's probably not worth it unless there's a serious condition that we think we can help with. But at that point, it just getting the positioning right and all that, I'm not sure that it would be the best option.
So as long as the child can stand is where you can help them. And they're still
Right.
for an X-ray.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? I think we talked about the ideal candidate for NUCCA care, but is there anything else that you want to talk about while we, finish up this interview?
Well, I just want to share how you has helped me in the past.
Okay, well, why don't you do that?
Yeah. So I was dealing with cravings. I remember just constantly hungry, and I remember speaking with you about it, and you're like, maybe you're deficient in, maybe you have a mineral deficiency or a vitamin deficiency, that you're constantly have these cravings of hunger. And I use some of your products, and they really, really helped me out tremendously. So I just want
Yeah.
to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And you're a fan of our collagen too, aren't you?
I'm a big fan. Collagen is a great. I think that's a ubiquitous recommendation for anybody. One of the
Yeah.
few supplements or that almost anyone can benefit from.
Yeah, and it's for all ages. And there's things that are not for all ages. I will tell people that. And because it is based on body weight. And that's really important with any type of supplementation that is a high quality supplementation. So, and you know, obviously I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my toolbox.
For
But
sure.
I also help people, release weight because of my own story of releasing 70 pounds because I obviously gained 70 pounds. And then, if I didn't do that nutritional supplement, I would have stayed at 50 pounds, but then I was able to release, the additional 20, and I became a half marathon runner. And there's other benefits. It helped me with my, I never had blood sugar and cholesterol problems, but they dropped dramatically. And the nurse just was like shocked when she found that out. So these products are just really great that I can offer for people to optimize their health. So everybody has a unique fingerprint in health, and which comes with your chiropractic care too, because you don't know what the angle of your head's going to be until you see them. And so with me, people can do a Zoom meeting with a private consultation, and then I have a Zytoscan, which you have done. Yes, that's what's helped me. And pretty much it's a clean diet and good supplementation is what's helped me. And that's what I guide people with. So I don't cure, treat, prevent, or whatever, but I help people be healthier by reducing symptoms. So I hope you guys realize that. And I'm not diagnosing you either. I'm just trying to see what area of health you need help with, and that's it. So these are just wellness tests I do with the health evaluation, and as well as the Zytoscan. And that you've done the cradle, but you got to do the link, which we'll be talking about later on, because it's an amazing scan that you can do remotely on a phone.
Oh, wow.
So what is your offer that you have for my audience today?
Absolutely. So we offer free consultations, which is really just a conversation to get a better idea of what's going on with you, your goals, and then if we think that you might be a candidate for care in the office. And you can find a NUCCA doctor at NUCCA.org. We are international as well, so mostly United States, but also in Australia and I believe Japan and a couple other countries as well.
Yeah. So my toolbox is international too. So, well, that's a great offer because a free evaluation is so important. Wherever you go, at least you don't, with the free evaluation, you're not paying a copay.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for being a guest on my show. And would you like to be a guest again in the future?
Absolutely, Debbie. Yeah, you've been such a great friend and a great resource as well. So,
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we may have more time, but I need to say some things at the end of my show. So stick around, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now is the time to better your health. Use my Beach Reveal Retreat, which is a comprehensive program that includes my weight release journey, weight release coaching, and mindset release as well. And also maintenance and accountability coaching. It also includes the retreat center, the House of Influence Retreat Center, the foods, the accommodations, the fun excursions and activities, and guidance in writing your transformational story in a chapter of the book, and publishing costs and how to market your book. This whole program of the retreat and mine is going to drive you with emotion and passion, and you will achieve your weight release transformation. Because it's a lot of my time before you go to the retreat center in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and the cost of the House of Influences activities and everything else they offer. It's $3,997, and people say that is a steal. There's a 7-month payment plan that you can pay $571 a month, and you need to be registered by March 29th because my weight release mindset coaching program starts on April 4th. There's 1 week of that onboarding that's private, and there's some instructions. There's 23 weeks of that coaching session with others that's fun because you'll learn from everybody else. And you'll be celebrating your wins, looking at your gaps, and I will help you get over those gaps, whether it's mindset, whether it's diet, whether it's you figuring out how to do something, okay? And then after that 6 months, you have that maintenance accountability group, as well as one Zoom with me, and I do answer your questions, via that Facebook group. Then you go to the retreat center, and that is November 6th to the 13th. And of course, that's when you write your transformational story in a chapter of a book, and you'll get guidance on that. And Purna Riyarta has a vortex energy that's so therapeutic. It's going to relax you and make you feel really good. And plus, writing that story is you're releasing that negative chatter that you had into that book, onto the bookshelf, and you will be so grateful that you wrote this chapter in the book. Plus, it's going to help others as well. So you can actually watch more details of my previous episodes of my Beach Review Retreat and reach out to me on my consultation button that you can find at my link tree, which is https://www.debi changes lives live as in Victor es.com/linktree. Select the show button to see previous shows. Select the consultation button to select the consultation where you can ask me questions, and that's where you will pay for the program and sign up. And obviously, that's where you see the consultation button where you get to know me, I get to know you, and I guide you to optimal health. That same button, you're going to find these programs. We already talked about the Beach Review Retreat. I have Take Your Body Back, which is a 12-week program without the retreat, without you writing your story. But the same idea of weight release and mindset coaching. You get to create that avatar board of a new version of you that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation. And there's YFAST, where you can ask questions of me, or if you need some guidance, there's like smaller packages, like a couple weeks or a month, that you can actually utilize me to get you going on that. Also on that, there are my services. There's 2 Zyto body scans. I prefer the Zyto link because you can actually do these scans remotely on your phone. So what the Zyto link is, it's a transdermal optical imaging app that sees the blood flow of your face, and it will see energetic, functional, and emotional in different body systems and lifestyles. It will generate a report of biomarkers out of range and products, and it will bring products. It will also give you products and services that bring it back into range. I do review it with you. If you're part of the Beach Review Retreat, that's automatically included. But if you're not, it's $50. And once I review it with you, if you move forward with my services, you'll get $25 back on a product or service. I also offer 5 scans for the price of 4, saving $50. And people find it pretty remarkable and amazing how accurate this wellness report is, telling them what they need help with. You can also go to my email button to purchase my #1 Amazon best-selling book, which is obviously a book of many authors with their transformational stories. And all these authors found it so beneficial and therapeutic to write this book. And it's also benefiting others. You'll find that writing your book will do that too. You can get a copy for $20 or a signed copy for $25. And once I get your order and your email and your payment, I'll send it off to you. I'm also offering for a limited time, a 30-minute complimentary service, which is Debi's Coaching Chats, which is an intimate group, and it's based on a topic that the group picks. It could be optimizing your health, how to make your weight release more efficient, how to release stress, and how mindset can help optimize your weight and health transformation. Plus, you can create a new version of yourself in an avatar board to optimize your health and achieve it. And that I'll tell you how to do too. It's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you need to register for it at https://bit.ly/bit.ly/Debi with a capital D and rest is in lowercase EBI hyphen with a capital C for coaching and the rest is in lowercase and a capital C for chats and it's lowercase and it's and it has an S at the end. So take advantage of that, and I'll see you there. Finally, you can learn more about alternative health and promos and events I have and upcoming shows by subscribing to my newsletter at https://bit.ly/radio TV show, all in lowercase. And as I give you a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal that you can record your gratitude, record your thoughts, your feelings and emotions, the foods that you ate, the water you drank, and the exercise you've done for the day. Plus, you can track your measurements, which is really important for weight release. You want to review it for on a daily, monthly, and weekly basis so that you can see your wins and celebrate them and see your gaps so you can work on them. If you need to bridge that gap, you contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. And it looks like I only have 1 more minute. I can say goodbye to Brandon, or I can close out my show. But anyways, I want to thank Brandon Van Steeders for being on my show. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Debbie.
And he's a wonderful NUCCA chiropractor. Please reach out to him. You can always reach out to me for my services as well. And also, take advantage of what he just told you of. And continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.